Hello. Have you ever been caught in a sudden rainstorm and had to run for cover? Maybe you ducked under a roof, a tree, or even an umbrella. Well, in that moment, you felt the difference between being exposed and being sheltered. The Bible uses the same picture to remind us that God Himself is our covering, our place in times of trouble. Psalm 27:5 says, "For in the day of trouble, He will keep me safe in His dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of His sacred tent and set me high upon a rock." The word shelter in the original Hebrew is sukkah. Now, a sukkah was a temporary hut used during the Feast of Tabernacles to remind Israel of their time in the wilderness, the 40 days in the desert. It was fragile and short-lived, but it pointed to God's everlasting protection and His presence with His people. So for us Christians, the sukkah points to Jesus. John 1:14 tells us the Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us. That word dwelling literally means tabernacled. Just as God's presence covered Israel in the wilderness, Jesus came to live among us, to be our true shelter. So our lives here are like temporary tents, fragile and short-lived. But God promises us an eternal home with Him. In fact, 2 Corinthians 5:1 says, "If the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, we have a building from God, an eternal house in heaven." And Revelation 21:3 promises, "Now the dwelling of God is with men, and He will live with them." So, no matter what storms you face today or I face, remember, you and I are under God's shelter, both now and forever. And that's our victory thought for today, safe under Jesus' shelter. I'm Kathleen Score with In Jesus Steps. If this message encouraged you, share it with someone who needs hope. Thank you for subscribing.